The hospital waiting room was almost empty that night. The lights were soft, the air smelled of medicine, and the ticking of the clock echoed loudly on the white walls. Suddenly, the silence was broken by the sound of a little girl crying. 8-year-old Lily sat on the hard bench, holding her small hand close to her chest. Her eyes were filled with tears. Her voice was weak but desperate as she whispered, "My hand hurts so much." Nurse Emma, who was walking past with a clipboard, quickly stopped. She bent down in front of the girl. "Sweetheart, what happened to you?" she asked in a gentle voice. Lily's lips trembled. I fell off the swing in the park. My hand hurt so badly." She tried to move her fingers, but pain shot through her arm, and she cried again. Emma carefully touched the little girl's hand. It was swollen and turning red. "It looks like you might have a fracture," Emma said softly. "Don't worry, darling. You are safe here. We will take care of you." She sat beside Lily and asked, "Where are your parents? Is your mom or dad with you?" Lily lowered her head. Her voice was almost a whisper. My daddy is coming. He promised." Emma gave her a small smile. "That's good. He will be here soon. But until then, I'm here with you." She guided Lily into the emergency room. The doctors came quickly, preparing the X-ray machine. Emma stayed close, holding Lily's uninjured hand to comfort her. The little girl squeezed tightly, looking frightened. Minutes later, the sound of hurried footsteps filled the hallway. The hospital doors opened wide, and a tall man in an expensive suit rushed inside. His face looked worried, his tie was loose, and his breath was heavy. Everyone in the lobby turned their heads because he wasn't just anyone. He was Daniel Ross, one of the wealthiest businessmen in the city. His face often appeared on news channels, magazines, and giant billboards. People called him powerful, cold, and unreachable. But right now he wasn't a businessman. He was a father. Daniel's eyes searched the room until they landed on the little girl lying on the hospital bed. "My baby," he cried, his voice breaking. He ran to her side and took her gently into his arms. "Lily, Daddy's here. Don't cry, sweetheart." Lily's eyes lit up with relief. "Daddy!" she whispered, holding him tightly. But when her broken hand moved, she winced in pain. Danielle immediately looked at the doctor. "What's wrong with her hand? Please tell me." The doctor checked the X-ray and said calmly, "It's a hairline fracture. Nothing too serious, but she needs a cast. With care, it will heal in a few weeks." Daniel nodded quickly. "Do everything you need to. Don't worry about the cost. Just make her better." The nurses brought out the materials to set the cast. Lily whimpered as they worked, but Daniel sat beside her, holding her steady. His voice was soft, filled with love and guilt. "You're so brave, my princess. Daddy is so proud of you. I'm here. I won't let anything happen to you." Nurse Emma, standing nearby, watched quietly. She had seen countless fathers in hospitals, some worried, some distant, some helpless. But there was something different about Daniel Ross. His eyes were not only full of love, but also regret. When the cast was finished, Lily leaned against her father's chest. "Daddy, it hurts, but I feel safe now that you're here." Daniel kissed her forehead. "I'm sorry, my baby. I should have been there sooner. I promise I'll never let you down again." Emma stepped forward carefully. "Would you like me to bring some water, Mr. Ross?" she asked politely. Daniel looked at her with tired eyes and gave a small nod. "Thank you. But what my daughter needs most right now is me." Emma left them alone, but her mind was full of questions. Why did this rich man look so broken inside? Why did he hold his daughter as if he was afraid of losing her? As Daniel carried Lily out of the emergency room, her small voice floated through the quiet hall. "Daddy, don't leave me again." Emma heard it clearly. The words hit her heart like a stone. Suddenly, she realized there was a bigger story behind this moment. This wasn't just about a broken hand. This was about a little girl who feared losing the one person she loved the most. The luxury car glided through the city streets that night, but inside the mood was heavy. Lily sat beside her father, her small arm resting in a cast, her eyes half closed from exhaustion. Daniel kept glancing at her, his heart aching every time he saw the bandages. He gently brushed a strand of hair from her face. "How are you feeling now, princess?" Lily gave a faint smile. "Better, Daddy. Because you came. I thought maybe you wouldn't." Her words cut him deeply. He looked away, his chest tight with guilt. I'm sorry, Lily. I should have been here sooner. From now on, I promise I'll always come. When they reached home, the nanny tried to take Lily upstairs to rest, but she refused. No, I want Daddy to stay with me. Daniel picked her up carefully and carried her to her room. He tucked her into bed, sat by her side, and held her good hand until her eyes slowly closed. Even after she fell asleep, he didn't move. He sat there in the quiet room, staring at her small, fragile figure, thinking about the years he had wasted. Daniel Ross had everything: business empires, mansions, cars, and respect. But he knew the truth. He had been absent in his daughter's life. After his wife passed away years ago, he had drowned himself in work, thinking money could fill the emptiness. He left Lily mostly with nannies and caretakers, showing up only with gifts but not with his presence. Tonight, when he heard her whisper, "Don't leave me again," something broke inside him. The next morning, when Lily woke up, she blinked in surprise. Daniel was still there, sitting in the chair, his eyes tired but soft. "Daddy," she said in shock, "you didn't go to work?" Daniel smiled, though his heart ached. "No, my princess. Today I'm all yours." Her face lit up with joy. "Really? Can we go to the park? Even if my hand is broken?" Daniel chuckled. "Yes, sweetheart. I'll push the swing this time, but very carefully." That day was different. For the first time in years, Daniel ignored the constant phone calls, the business meetings, and the piles of documents. He spent the whole day with Lily. They had breakfast together, played board games, and even painted pictures with her good hand. In the park, Lily laughed as her father pushed the swing gently. "Higher, Daddy!" she shouted with pure happiness. He smiled, realizing he hadn't heard her laugh like this in so long. Days turned into weeks. Daniel kept his promise. Every morning he woke up early to make Lily's favorite pancakes. Every evening he read her bedtime stories in silly voices, making her giggle. Slowly, the cold, distant businessman began to disappear. What remained was a loving father who finally understood what mattered most. One afternoon, Nurse Emma visited the mansion for a follow-up check. She was surprised to see Daniel sitting on the floor with Lily, helping her draw with crayons. His expensive suit was gone. He wore simple clothes, his hands smudged with color. Emma smiled warmly. "Mr. Ross, I almost didn't recognize you. You look different." Daniel looked up and laughed softly. "Different in a good way, I hope?" Emma nodded. "Yes, you look like a father who finally found his place." Lily held up her drawing proudly. "Look, Nurse Emma, Daddy and me, together forever." Emma's heart melted. She looked at Daniel and said gently, "She doesn't just need your money, Mr. Ross. She needs you. And I can see now you're finally giving her that." Daniel's eyes grew moist as he looked at Lily. "She's all I need, too." Weeks later, Lily's cast was removed. Her little hand had healed, but more importantly, her heart had healed too. She no longer felt alone. She no longer waited by the window, hoping for her father. One evening, as the sun painted the sky with orange and pink, Lily cuddled beside Daniel on the balcony. "Daddy," she whispered. "Yes, my princess." "You know what? You're my hero. Even more than superheroes." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. He hugged her tightly. "And you, Lily. You're my whole world. I promise nothing will ever take me away from you again." The city outside sparkled with lights, but Daniel didn't care. For the first time in years, he understood something money could never buy: the love of a child, and the chance to be the father she needed. From that day on, people still called Daniel Ross a millionaire. But to Lily, he was simply Daddy. And to him, that was the greatest title of all. Because sometimes it takes a little girl's cry, "My hand hurts so much," to remind even the richest man in the world that the greatest treasure is family.